tempting. Just gonna say, it's pretty tempting. Right. I believe we could probably turn the volume up a little bit. It's a touch on the quiet side in that menu. There we go. Hey, Miss Amy Hoyle, how are you? Gotta watch my Discord to check when the devs are available. Alright, I've made like 2 lances for this. I'm just gonna go for like the 25 million monies. And yeah, I do have a lot of LRMs. 2 of my favorite mechs. Less so the catapult. You can do it with most mechs, but catapult is good for a sort of is it a tier 2? It's a tier 2 mech. It's pretty helpful. Tier 1 mech? Yeah, the Stalker. They literally updated the game in like the last couple of hours. That button didn't used to be there. I swear that button didn't used to be there. I was thinking, literally like 2 hours ago, oh, I wish they had a stock button on the mechs. It's now there. Is this a bonus stream or will I be doing one tomorrow as well? I'll probably do one tomorrow. I'll probably do Frostpunk tomorrow, maybe. Hey, Narnia. So yeah, this is my Stalker. I could make it fire 80 missiles. You can do that, but you have to lose a bit of armor. And, well, it can be done, but let's see. Like, what happens if you try and do that? We put in LRM 20, LRM 20. You drop the medium lasers, which is fine. And then you're like, oh, I probably need more heat sinks. Do the Galaxy episodes have a schedule? They're probably going to be midday. The one today went out a little bit late because I don't think it saved the setting or something when I said to like release at 4 p.m. Because today it was 4 p.m. because it was running a little bit late on the upload. Right, so yeah, there you go. Like, we could maybe get away with that. That wouldn't be able to fire consistently. That would. But you see the issue here? We're still tons over. So if we go like max armor, yeah, fine. That's acceptable. Have a look at this. That armor's pretty terrible. To the point of being worrying. Now, in a campaign game, I might run this. Maybe. Maybe. In a competitive game, I wouldn't run this. Because someone will just jump over, find me, and shoot me. In a campaign game, the AI won't be smart enough to go and hunt it down. So my idea is that in a competitive game, I switch this out and I go for the old version, which if I hit reset, you'll notice we've got medium lasers just in case we need to take someone on. Heat efficiency is actually pretty good. Ignore the medium lasers. Those are meant to be used if someone gets too close. If they don't get too close, we're fine. We cannot use medium lasers. We keep firing with these, and we've got about 5 heat efficiency. Ammo, we're firing 70 missiles. We've got 6 boxes of 120. So we can fire for quite a while. We've got decent armor as well. Yeah, in multiplayer, it's just asking for it. It's a bit of an issue. Well, I'm hoping that the devs will be up for a bit of competitive multiplayer. That's what I'm hoping. I just missed the start of this. Oh no, El Condoriano. It's okay. We haven't really done very much. I've been talking about my mech setups. By the way, I would also like to say that there's so much pollen right now. Ugh. It all came at once. We had like so many cold snaps that the flowers decided to not pollen, and then suddenly pollen, which was great. This is my other long-range mech. This is the tier 2. Substantial drop in the tonnage, and we get 2 lots of 20 missiles. That's it. That's actually it. I've fit it with jump jets. I could take the jump jets away and go for a bit more heat efficiency, but again, I'm not going to be firing this medium laser. It's got armor. Again, this is a competitive mech. If it wasn't running competitive, I might drop a bit of armor, get an extra medium laser on, but... Now, you might say, oh, E, why don't you put a large laser on? This is what happens if you put a large laser on. So Stalker is basically a longbow, 10 extra tons, and LRM 15s instead of LRM 5s. Pretty much. There you go. If we drop the jump jets, you'll still see that heat efficiency is just trash. There's no way this is useful. That is just flat out. It's not helpful. It can only fire these missiles 6 times also. In this current setup, it can only fire these missiles 6 times because then it will run out. So it might be worthwhile actually upping this, having a think about it. So LRM ammo. Chuck that in there. Go find an extra ton. We could take that off on armor. Hell, we could take it off in the medium laser if we want, but I cannot medium laser in case we do run out of ammo. It can fire 9 times like this. Again, could, you know, chuck a jump jet. I kind of like the idea of being able to use it to jump jet around while firing missiles, though. Especially in multi. Probably don't need it elsewhere. Gonna drop some armor. Dropping armor is always one of those situations where I'm a bit iffy, but I'll take it. I'll take it. So we'll save that. What else do we have? My Flammenwerfer. It worse Flammen. This is my Flammenwerfer. 6 flamethrowers. That's 60 heat we can give to someone. Doesn't do much damage. It's actually really terrible at damage. But it worths a lot of Flammen, which is what you want. It's also got a crazy amount of jump jets. The idea being it can go wee, 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 and increases your heat by 60, which means that we can overheat people. Yeah, all the flames. It worths Flammen. That's all it does. How heavy is the... Let's look at the longbow. How heavy is the longbow? Someone said the longbow is like 85. Where's the longbow? Is the longbow in the game? I've never seen a longbow in the game. Might have just missed it, though. Yeah, not sure I made it into the video game. Okay. What I might do is have a play around with my Jaeger mech. So my Jaeger mech is currently set up for a kind of medium-long range kind of setup. So it's got a couple of medium lasers and then some AC2s. What I could do is change the AC2s for AC5s, which do an extra 80% damage. We drop an AC2, drop the AC2 ammo. It's got a minimum 90 range. Okay. We'll need the ammo on that. How much ammo do we get in a thing? 15 rounds. Yeah, probably need 2 of those. And then we could get another gun. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking an AC5. Oh, yeah. The heat efficiency does drop, though, so we might want to consider a replacement heatsink or something like that. Heatsink to the face. Heatsink to the face. That will increase our firepower by about... Drops 5, made up... Increase it by 35. Our max range goes down, but our minimum range goes down as well, so we can fire at a shorter range. Now, bear in mind, its movement's still pretty trash. It is a Jaeger mech. We've got 30 rounds and we've got 3 guns. So yeah, 10 rounds of shooting. It's not a lot. 10 rounds of shooting is kind of that stage where I'm like, in a campaign, I'd say no. In a multi, I'd say yes. How's it going? It's going okay, gamer. I believe I might have Mike McCain, who's the game director, plus Jordan Weissman, who, you know, kind of set up BattleTech, and Mitch Gettleman, who I believe he set up We Be Hairbrained with, and I think is the studio manager. So I should have all 3 people. Also, Jordan Weissman is also responsible for Shadowrun. So I'm just going to nerd out a little bit if you don't mind. How many shots would I recommend in the campaign? I'd probably say you want minimum 45. Basically, anything for a competitive match, like if you're playing skirmish, at least increase it by 50%. Because the issue is, you'll find that especially some of the campaign missions go on quite a while. Especially the campaign missions. Now, early on in the game, it's not as important. Later on, you will encounter things where you have to fight, you know, 12 mechs. You've got 4, remember. So you're not 4v4 like you are in skirmish, you're 4v12. You've got to have 3 times as many shots in theory. It doesn't necessarily work out that way. But you need the ammo to keep going. And even then, you'll find you often are running very low by the end, or starting to headbutt people with, you know, whatever you've got around. Normally your head if you're headbutting people, I guess. It does vary. I could drop medium lasers. Again, they are 25 damage. Oh, hell, we could drop one of these and chuck in more medium lasers. The issue being...
Receiving incoming transmission.
Whoa! Bonjour, thank you for the bits. The issue being... heat. But we might be able to get rid of that. Yeah. Okay, so we've decreased the range, but we chuck in some heat sinks. We can get that going. Then we chuck in jump jets. I'm thinking we maybe make this a medium range killer. We'll chuck in a jump jet there, jump jet there. The reason I'm putting in the core torso is if we're like hitting the core torso, we're kind of screwed anyway. And the heat is still a little bit higher than I'd like. So I won't be able to fire for as much as I want. So I'm thinking maybe another heatsink.
Welcome to the Empire. Stay sharp.
Bratislav, welcome to the Empire. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for supporting the channel. Welcome. Bratislav38. I could also put on like small weapons, right? You can put on tiny little weapons. If you're going to have a lot of tiny weapons, you probably want to think about a machine gun because they create no heat. Whereas a small laser will do 20 damage but 5 heat. Bear in mind that you're doing 10 heat with a medium laser and does 25 damage. So a small laser does like 80% of the damage, half the heat. Small lasers are good. Very short range. Max 90.
Receiving incoming transmission.
Want that because max range on the AC, minimum range is 90 on the AC, so it'll be useless. Zane, 100 bits. Thank you very much. From that sale they had a while back. Always a good use of that sale. So I think we'll save this, and we're really cutting the range. So we'll call it a medium range now. Changed its designation. Price has gone up a little bit. Now, the lances I've set up, if we look at only mine, the rounded lance and the surprise lance. The surprise lance is surprise lance because don't tell them. I hope they're not watching this. It's got like cheap upfront units, and then, well, they're like, hey, where did all the money go? Over 10 million worth of hardware rains down 70 missiles a turn. That's entirely it. The rounded lance, on the other hand, is a bit more, you know, sensible. Neither of them have that mech in. I really want to get that mech on board, so I might do some tweaking to get that mech in. Maybe replace like the Thunderbolt or something. Or the Vindicator. I'll have to think. Right. I think they are in line. I'm not sure if they're ready or not. They haven't said they're ready. Oh, oh, oh. Timberwolf or Mad Cat? I haven't seen the Timberwolf or Mad Cat. I could be wrong. I don't think they're in off the top of my head. Right. I'm gonna mute myself, and I'm gonna go talk to the devs, and I'll be back in like 1 minute or something. So, oh, they're from the future, like 25 years in the future. Gamer Vision, you subscribe but nothing came up. Streamlabs hasn't said you've subscribed, so it might be that it's like bugged or something. I'm not sure. That might be on Twitch's end, or it might be on Streamlabs' end. It could be either. Right. I'll back in a sec. Hello again, stream. I'm joined by Mitch and Jordan.
And scene.
So this is I'm Jordan.
And I'm Mitch. And what do you do, Jordan, at Hairbrain Schemes?
I make trouble mostly.
No shit.
A lot of trouble.
if the shoe fits, wear it. So Jordan actually created Mech Warrior and BattleTech, along with a couple of little things like Crimson Skies and Shadowrun. And,
oh yeah, Shadowrun, just a little thing.
I'm downplaying it because I don't need this, legend of game development crap in my life.
And Mitch, I can say, behind helping me make many of those things. And his primary job is to, help be buried in the pile of manure that I come up with, and then get a shovel and dig us out of it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. Yeah, well, that's divide and conquer, kids.
Yeah. It's totally complementary strategies right there.
Our wives say.
So I've got a confession to make. I've not actually played the tabletop version.
Offend us.
Yeah, we can forgive you for that.
We don't make any money off of that anymore, so we're good. Just go to the video game. We're fine.
I mean, I'm loving it. I may have a confession to make. I've already put in 80 hours in the game before I even recorded anything.
Really? Wow,
Yeah.
That's a huge compliment.
And that was just in the tutorial? Or?
I had a preview copy earlier that I couldn't actually cover, so I was there going, I can't cover this, but I really want to play more. So I may have played 80 hours. Whoops.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're enjoying it.
Well, I assume you're enjoying it, or you're just a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, exactly.
Bit of both.
Cat of Nine Tails would have been cheaper.
Yeah. So, hey, real fast, can you see us on stream? I'm just asking. I can see you, and you're a very handsome man. I was
Oh, God.
curious.
Oh, dear. I'm scared now.
Well, now I am. All right, forget it.
Now, I do have a question to ask. Were there cigars?
Were there?
I was under the
There's
impression there were
Tuesday.
always massive amounts of cigars going on after a game went out.
But that'll be Tuesday.
Tuesday at 9 o'clock Pacific time. And actually, our publisher, Paradox, in Sweden, they got cigars for the team in Sweden also.
Nice. So you have converted more people.
Yeah,
I showed him what pleasure looks like.
Well, or I could view it as it's his personal crusade because the planet is too crowded.
Yeah.
I mean, either or, both work.
Liquor him up too.
So, it looks like you're gearing up for a battle here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go probably with like the 25 million mark. So I'm gonna go for the is it the war limit? And I kind of want an excuse to use my fire starter that I made that just has flamers, nothing else.
You armor them up too?
Yep. Just went, you know what? Flamers, jump jets, and then armor. Nothing else.
I make sure to max out the armor on the legs.
Yeah.
So that I can do death from above without blowing my mech apart.
That's a good call. I might actually go back in and tweak that. I think I left the legs a little bit light.
Real time. That's way more fun.
Have you been playing the campaign or just the skirmish side?
I got really far in the campaign. I didn't actually finish it despite 80 hours. I just spent a lot of time trying to collect all the mechs. I was playing a kind of weird version of Pokemon with mechs.
Other people, it's cool.
So, did you start to find special gear like the actuators that make DFA more survivable and things like that?
Yeah, I did. The issue I found with those is that they often weighed quite a lot, and I was there going, do I really want to death from above when it'll really hurt my legs? And I have to put a several ton item on the legs, and I could have more weapons instead.
Cockpit communication device that I particularly like that takes no weight and it just takes one slot, but it gives your entire lance a morale benefit.
Yeah, no, I saw that and I was like, I'm getting that every time, put it in the head. Except for the fact there's also the pilot upgrade that protects your pilot from injury, right?
Yep, that too.
Yeah, it's all sorts of fun little ones.
Yeah, you got to travel the map because, if you look at your star map, you'll see a whole bunch of attributes for each planet, and it really those attributes determine what's in the stores. Around to look for the right stuff. I like to go to places that has black market.
What do you find at those? I've never seen a black market, or at least I've never paid attention to it.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you, man.
No!
Play the damn game. 81 hours. Let's go. 81.
I spent a lot of time going, wait, this planet has a 5 difficulty rating. I'm going there and doing all the things.
That's where you get the good salvage, too.
Yeah, basically going there and being like, oh, max my salvage. You can give me nothing in money. I will just have salvage.
I don't play skirmish anymore, although I played it a lot and for a long time. When you're playing a mercenary mission, every single shot on every turn counts.
Yeah, it really has content. It really changes the way you play when you are concerned about the damage you're taking, right? The whole kind of run up and just stand there and shoot thing just won't work in the context of the campaign.
Yeah, and in skirmish, go ahead and death from above. In the campaign, you've got to repair that leg damage.
Yeah, no, in campaign, I was just holding back. I was like, no, can't do this. Everything gets damaged. I'm very sad. I also started to avoid using the light mechs because every time they got damaged, it was very expensive and risking people dying.
Use the lights for campaign missions which involve speed, like
anytime, escort missions.
Yeah, anytime, or when you're like trying to get an asset, like go pick somebody up and get them off the map. I'll take like a spider and fill every slot with jump jets across the map.
One of our designers, Tyler Carpenter, yesterday went after one of the highest difficulty missions, procedural missions in the game, and he did it with medium mechs. It was like, he says, I'm going to do this. I put $1 down on his desk, as I usually do. If you beat this mission, you get the $1. And through, cunning gameplay and understanding how to use speed properly, he was able to beat that mission that I would have brought in, if I could get it.
Well, I think that's one of the things that I really like where the combat evolved to with the chevrons
for evasion.
Yeah, because the whole evasion mechanic really does faster guys some defensibility.
I think there's something else when it comes to evasion. I was just thinking about this. Evasion. What's really interesting about it, if you play a lot of turn-based games, you're kind of scared to move forward. play XCOM, I turtle. I don't want to move because I'm going to die in an instant.
Yeah, you'll like move
And
like
this-
2 squares forwards, then you'll stop.
Interface
Everyone Overwatch. 2
initiated.
squares, Overwatch.
Exactly, and in this game,
Ready for
because
action.
of the evasion mechanic that we put in, it encourages movement in a turn-based game. And it says not only is that okay, it's actually can be really beneficial.
Yeah, required for survival
Yeah.
in many cases.
Advancing, I guess.
Now, how does the evasion actually work in the tabletop game?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the only way it exists is that your speed that you spend does have a to-hit modifier. So I guess it does
Okay.
it does exist. It's just not as kind of
Specific.
yeah, specific and accessible, if you will.
Yeah.
So one of the other things that's really nice about the way evasion works is that as you range a target,
Okay,
you work those
let's
evasion
go.
pips off, right? So
Yeah.
Confirmed.
if multiple of your units work at it, you can really work it down to, and get a guy who at the first blush seemed almost impossible to hit. Doesn't exist in the tabletop. But the base concept of the faster you go, the harder you hit, the harder you are to hit, does exist in the tabletop.
In terms of combat, for this BattleTech PC game, and the first BattleTech PC game in over 20 years, was to really get the feel of tabletop
Reporting.
back when Jordan was, only like 80 years old and made it,
Right on my first life.
Yeah.
But the real goal there was to kind of capture the feel, the essence of it, but make it a much more modern, accessible, and fluid playing game.
Sensor contact.
As you mentioned, like kind of definitely taking some touchstones from XCOM and from other modern tactical games. All right, you found the bad guys pretty quick.
Start.
Yep. I'm just
Yeah.
hoping they don't kill my flamer so I can actually get a chance to use it.
That big hill to your right there, that's a good one to hide behind and then jump over.
Yeah.
I also decided that my
Probably
flame was one of
nothing-
my cheaper units, so if they wanted to shoot at it with full evasion, then they're free to.
At 80 hours in, we probably can't tell you anything that you don't know how to play.
Yeah, why don't you teach us how to
Okay,
play?
I do have a question then. The SRM-6 has so much heat. I don't understand it. Why does it have so much heat?
I'm here.
Yeah, that would be a Ryan question. Ryan did all the weapon balancing, and
Okay.
it's a constant state of evolution. But I think
An opinion.
yeah, an opinion. But it's interesting. I have to go back and look. I don't remember that one being spiked on heat. But
It's
Yeah,
something
I'm willing to
like
trust you on it.
SRM-2 is 6 heat, SRM-4 is 8 heat, and then the SRM-6 is like 14, so it jumps by 6 heat.
I'll try.
That seems out of whack with the balance.
Unless
Well,
there's
I'm
something
using it
else
right
with
now.
it.
I'm just like, you know what? I'll just have SRM-4s, and then I'll have spare heat. It's great.
I think that proves that you're an excellent player.
I think you mean exploitative player?
I'm taking internal damage.
Is there any other kind?
Good point. Oh god, they've got a class 1 mech. They've got an assault mech.
Confirmed.
I'm afraid what that might be.
Think. You've played almost the entire campaign.
Yeah, 80 hours. How far did you get in?
I
Without
got
spoiling.
pretty far. I must have been like 2 or 3 missions off the end. But then the update
Okay.
rendered the save useless, so...
Yeah, that happened to me.
Yeah, we've suffered that frustration many times.
Yeah.
But those days of frustration are over now.
Here
It
we go.
is.
Excellent.
And actually, if that was you were playing pretty early.
Yeah.
Very
Oh,
early
meta
version.
campaign's changed dramatically.
Yeah,
since
it's
the
really
version
changed
you
a lot
played.
since you played.
Things rewriting.
Ready for
One thing I did find, though, is that I think like 2 times, I bumped into enemy units. I was like, excellent, right, I'm going to kill them. It's going to be great. Turn 1, PPC to the face. Okay, that's a dead pilot.
BattleTech. That,
Yep.
that is true to the spirit of the board game.
Yeah, there are a fair number of die rolls happening in this game.
Yes, there are.
And so yeah, it can happen, and in 80 hours it's going to happen more than once.
Yeah. But it happens on both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
So
You get those shots too.
That's how I got my first fire starter. Just boot to the head, and I took it. It was
Target's taken a critical hit.
So if you don't core an enemy unit, if you just destroy the legs or you destroy the head, do you get more salvage?
Absolutely. So if it takes 3 what we call mech parts, which are basically chassis parts to assemble a mech. If you take out the head,
Damage is minor, Commander.
you'll get all 3 parts, and you can, assuming you had negotiated for enough salvage, you can get that mech right away. At the legs, you'll get 2 parts, and if you core out the center torso, you only get 1 part.
Roger.
Yeah, I thought about the legs. I didn't know about the head. That said, it is kind of hard to deliberately shoot the head. The chances are so tiny.
You're right, but the chances go up as your mech warriors go up in skill. That one of the skills, which is I believe called tactics, allows you to increase your chances of called shots.
And your base, obviously, hit numbers keep going up
Right.
as well.
Yeah, especially if you can get them knocked down.
Armor breach.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, the 3 ways to get the called shot are, to knock them down, to cause them to overheat themselves, or they cause themselves to overheat
And shut down.
and shut down. And then the third is to use the morale ability.
Precision shot, isn't it? Precise strike, that's the one.
What?
strike,
No.
So what you're saying is I need to get like a load of flame mechs, just run around with them, fire starters, shut enemy mechs down, poach their heads.
You sound like a mech factory waiting to happen.
Yeah, you need obviously the challenge is to be able to get the fire starters in combination with the guys to deliver the shots to the head.
Yep. Oh, I mean, I don't want to say it because there's that mission in the game, right, where you get the really advanced mech that you're given because of the thing with the powerful gun. That's pretty good at headshots.
Yeah,
That was
a really complex sentence there.
That was nice.
I'm trying not to spoil it for people in the chat. I'm like, this is quite a late on mission. I don't want to spoil it just yet.
That particular thingy that you're talking about is made for taking mech heads off.
I do love that weapon. And I'm afraid that it's going to get destroyed. So when I got the mech, I very specifically maxed out the armor on that one position on the mech so it didn't get crit.
And then you find yourself being careful about facing on it too, right?
Try
Trying to
me next time. See what you get.
leave it exposed as little as possible.
Yep.
You in the campaign, some of the things that people, because they're not
Yep.
really normal video game thought process, but there are 2 kind of off of the map without
Affirmative,
quitting and going back to a save game, which are retreating. I don't know if you ever retreated out of a procedural mission.
I don't think I ever did, no.
Withdraw, yeah.
Yeah, so you can withdraw from any procedural mission, and you lose a little bit of reputation. But if things are going poorly,
See the battlefield.
yeah, you can save a lot of. And then the other one you can do is if you're afraid of a mech warrior, at any point you can eject a mech warrior.
How do you eject? I actually thought about that a few times, but I never bothered. How do you do that?
Our face comes
And your
back
next
up.
turn, we'll show you.
Okay. That fire
Feeling
starter is
it.
doing a good job of being in there, by the way.
I'm not gonna have a mech left if I keep taking hits like that.
There was a punt. The Griff, I survived it. That's no problem.
It's 4 million worth of mech, tanking 15 million on it or something, so it's doing its job.
Yes, Commander.
Warrior, select Paradise. Can't eject during skirmish mode because it's not the campaign.
That's right.
So if you look, you see on the bottom left, where you, if you could, on the bottom left where it says Paradise and Firestarter and all that. During the campaign, you'll see a red button next to Paradise's name. below where your cursor is now. Yeah, during the campaign, you'll be able to eject that mech warrior, get them off the battlefield so they don't die and stuff like that. It destroys the head of the mech, but you get to recover it. But it also destroys the equipment that you had in the head. So
right, but if that super powerful weapon that we're not mentioning is in an arm or a torso, and you're afraid about losing it, if you eject, you'll actually get it back.
Yeah, pop the canopy.
Yeah, that's not a bad option then. It's only a head to lose rather than losing something like a powerful weapon or maybe even getting caught.
As a merc, you're there. You're not fighting for God and country. You're fighting for money, and so if you're losing money on the gig, get the hell out.
I mean, I'm just fighting to try and get one of every type of mech. I wish I had a bigger mech page just so I could line them up.
Yeah, that would be cool. Have you expanded the Argo to all 3 bays?
Oh yeah, I expanded to all 3 bays and filled all of them, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have this many mechs. I'm not using them. I'm using like 6, so maybe
storage is poor.
I was just very, very poor throughout, and then I realized actually I can just get a load of money by going through the campaign a little bit further, and then just keeping looking for mechs.
If you put mechs in storage, you don't have to pay upkeep on them.
Yeah, but they don't look pretty in storage. I want them ready in case I fancy taking them out.
Like your trophy case.
Yeah, basically. If I use Death from Above, I don't fire my flamers, do I? Or do I? I can't recall.
It's a melee attack. You do.
Okay, excellent. In which case...
Come on.
Do it.
Going skyward.
It's gonna make me fall down. I'm gonna break my leg.
We're okay with that.
We're all gonna laugh and have fun at that.
Winning is not our goal.
Nope. And knocked down.
Lateral control.
Oh!
Damn it.
Oh.
Hey, that's a 4 million credit distraction right there. Worth it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was good. And...
Core shot head.
How did you do that? We warned you that would happen.
I mean, the other thing that people, that's another tactic people have been playing with is that, every time you get someone knocked down, you injure the pilot. And that's a good way to get a lot of salvage, too. The mech from knocking it down enough times. You kill the pilot inside.
Fire.
Yeah, I was doing that a few times. I was just like, wait, I'm having a lot of trouble because their armor is so high. But I can keep knocking them down, so every few turns I just fire some more missiles and get them knocked over.
Hey.
Cool technique, and what's nice is there's one technique dominates. They really have balanced that pretty well.
Now, I've found that I tend to pick missiles over most weapons, although I do kind of go maybe okay on the projectiles. I don't fancy lasers as much. And I think they're kind of balanced. Like, I think you're right. They are pretty balanced across the board, but what do you guys prefer?
Okay.
It really depends on the mission and the environment, right? Like if I'm in a cold environment, I love the lasers, right? Because I mean my heat efficiency is really good, and I'm not worried about ammo constraints. If I'm in a lunar environment where I've just got
it's a vacuum.
Yeah.
If you jump, you're gonna get close to overheating with just one jump.
Yeah, so their energy weapons are really difficult.
Yeah.
That's
all case by case.
Ammo-based weapons. I'm always doing the kind of risk-reward math in my head about how many armor and internal structure points are left in the location, and what's my chance to hit with each one, because I'm trying to conserve the ammo.
Well, I'm doing something similar to that, but I'm also mousing over the 11 different parts of the mech to see what's contained there, because I'm always going for an ammo explosion, right?
With a missile, sure.
Yeah. So if you look or autocannons, right? Yeah. So you look at especially the left and the right torso. You target that. You're usually going to blow off, you'll blow off the arm with it, whatever weapons are located in the arm, but you also hit the ammo, and that ammo explosion will blow up big. You'll probably do damage to the pilot, and also the damage transfers internally into the center torso.
And that's where things like the LRMs and the SRMs do have advantages and different of the ACs, autocannons, because they get like multiple rolls on those tables, looking for those critical hits.
The juicy bits, as we like to call them.
Confirmed.
So ammo explosions do an injury to the pilot as well. So if you take out parts of the torso, if you hit the head, ammo explosion, knockdown. Is there anything I'm missing?
To hit the pilot.
Yeah, to try and injure the pilot.
Statistic that damages the pilot, as far as I can remember, is falling down. I believe always hurts the pilot.
Yeah, everything else depends on where the damage is.
I like those flamers.
That Victor is pretty toasty.
Well, as long as Victor keeps like having a high heat, he's not firing at me, and I don't think he's actually fired anything at me so far, so I'm happy about that.
Because it means the game mechanic is working.
I'm just surprised they haven't killed it yet. Like, it's a 4 million mech standing in the middle of their group.
What? No.
They're running. They run a bunch of math about what is the greatest threat at the moment.
Wait. Sure. Why not?
Heat weapons as threats.
Well, I think there's so much subtlety in these things. It's like, can I get to your back armor, which is lighter than the front armor, and so there's a threat assessment. Then there's also the how much damage I can do to this guy assessment. There's a whole heuristic hierarchy that they walk through that, of course, I can't understand.
Ready for orders.
Yeah, Dave and Kevin spent a better part of a year just on the AI for the Max, and it came so far.
Oh! You're going to see that in a second, by the way.
Talk it.
We're going to see. How you doing for DFA?
Here it comes. And... You think he's going to be okay?
I think he's very flat right now.
You need to call for a medic for that guy.
That was beautiful.
I was just hoping to get rid of his guarded status so I could actually shoot him and not half damage, but I'll take that. I'm happy.
Skipper.
And for the storybooks.
Hey.
Totally.
Oh, man. All right, what to target now? I guess I could kill that spider off.
Don't let him run around as long as you have it.
Spiders tend to die in high wind.
Yeah, and he's pretty wrecked already, I think, so...
Arm was gone.
Yeah, I'll kill the spider off, why not?
I could think of a couple good reasons. What happened?
Yeah. There.
I'm here.
Missed it. So how long has BattleTech actually been in development for?
Years from the Kickstarter to now.
We consider development starting when we started the Kickstarter.
And how long ago was that? It was about 3?
God.
No, more than that.
Was it? It was September of 2015, I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, September, October.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be 2.5?
Roughly? Yeah, 2.5.
Oh, I'm hit.
There's you've heard of dog years. There's harebrained schemes years. And we have 3 speeds: fast, faster, and oh my god.
Internal structure damage.
I was talking to Lauren Random Tuesday the other day, and she was saying that you guys were getting very happy to have it out the door finally.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sorry, there's a term I can think of that I can't say. We're patiently waiting for release.
All right.
That sounds very redacted.
That was good, right?
But that's fine.
Yeah, we're not patient.
No. I mean, it's we've really enjoyed working on this game, and we hope to be getting to work on more of it for a long time to come.
That sounds great.
If
Confirm.
the audience reacts well to it, but we've just been so anxious to get it into the audience's hands.
Yeah, I can imagine. Right, I'm gonna fire all those. So how do you find this compared to the Shadowrun games? Because you did 3 of those in a row. This is a bit of a change.
Critical hit.
Yeah, it's both a change and it's a very different scale, right? I mean, in terms of the amount of man years that went into the title, and the just the playability of the titles themselves. I mean, the Shadowrun games are kind of crafted little jewel boxes, right? I mean, they're very, very, they're really all about the depth of storytelling, but they're not enormously replayable, right? Because of that, right? So they're, I think kind of a 12, 15 hour.
Oh no, it's way more than that. Yeah, no, it's 50.
For the first one, it was only about 12, 15 hours, and then I think by the time you get to Dragonfall, probably.
Hong Kong's the longest of all.
Yeah.
Of them. Yeah. No, they get up there, especially with the extended edition, Fall Director's Cut, and then the Shadows of Hong Kong extended version. Yeah, you're getting up there in time. But Jordan's right. It's all handcrafted, sort of a what's the word in suits? Bespoke. But this one's much more systemic.
Yeah, so my point is, you wouldn't be 80 hours in.
No, you definitely
to
would.
A Shadowrun title.
And every time I play, I can play the same mission in BattleTech over and over, and have a very different experience doing it.
Especially some of those ambush missions where you walk down the front into the middle of them, you get surrounded. Next time you're clever, you go around the edge.
So yeah, I mean, I think for us, it's what we've really enjoyed is, and then also, from I think the other big difference, right? Those were kind of a, isometric only, very painterly, but kind of very, no.
I got you.
Yeah.
Here it's full 3D, and I mean, the work that like Andy did on the camera in this game, to me just makes the game and the universe feel so immersive, right? As the way the camera moves throughout the world and getting
reinforces the scale of the mechs.
Oh, totally, and really, does some great kind of action framing.
I dig it
from it. So yeah, it's a much bigger effort, all the way around.
Well, it's a much larger team.
Yeah.
That Shadowrun Returns took us a year.
Yeah, with 20 people at max.
Yeah.
And this is almost 2.5-ish. At more than double that size team.
Yeah, crazy.
How many employees are you up to now at Hairbrained?
Right here.
We don't know their names anymore.
No, it's not
the
true.
truth is, we don't really care about the people here. It's more. Go ahead, Jordan. I'm sorry. To us is what we're trying to say.
Mitch is in charge of recruiting.
I
do
tell,
a lot of
yeah.
it. We keep grinding through people.
Yeah. So no, we are a small, intimate, family-run shop.
That's right.
Currently, we're at about 45 people.
Okay.
And
Not all of them on game development.
that's the total. I mean, that's like the complete studio.
Bean counters, everybody.
Yeah, obviously. I think if you minus all those people, we're at 43. 43 people on development. I wasn't including Joe, because
You pay him.
Critical
that's true.
He takes a salary. We should really count him.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm here.
Make everybody feel valued.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I hope they're not watching. Going to HR.
A nice department if we had it.
Yeah.
Just make sure you haven't, bad-mouthed HR.
That's good. HR works for us.
That was good. Griffin down there. That's very nice.
And now it's just plodding along nice and slow. I do like how after they lose a leg, they just kind of a little bit limping, kind of slow.
Yeah.
I almost feel sorry for them, but I don't.
Yeah.
This guy's seen better days.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Holly is our lead animator, and she did an awesome job on the limps and the punches and the DFAs. Just really made these guys
Falling down.
Yeah. Exactly right. The fall downs and the get ups. I mean that.
The heat.
Here's a pro tip for you, real fast. Oh, too late. I forgot. We have a lag.
Oh no! What was the pro tip?
if you go up to the top, you know how you can choose a location to hit, but if you move your mouse to the top, each individual armor location to find out what's in it, like I was telling you before, where the ammo is and stuff.
So you can find out, both the.
Yeah, there you go. You're doing it now.
Yeah, so that'll give
jump jet. Keep going. Try that.
So you see the
side torso.
The gauges on the top are telling you how much armor and internal structure.
Yeah.
And then the rollover gives you kind of what components are inside that section.
Right.
Sadly, no juicy ammo or anything though. I think I have to try and kill them with a death from above, but I will probably kill my mech by doing that.
Yeah. Or you can just shoot him in the center torso because he's only got 78 points of armor there left.
Or I could destroy his leg with a death from above and capture him.
Yeah, that's right.
That sounds fun. That'll be much more cinematic. Let's do that.
And
both legs destroyed. Next.
Both mechs just fall over next to each other. I mean,
yeah,
that was a win.
Mission successful. All right.
Uh-oh. Your mechs have seen better days.
Yeah, no, I think they might not be pleased with me for having destroyed their mechs and made them fall over so much. If that was a campaign, I'd be looking at several days out.
In a campaign play.
Yeah. That would be expensive to replace those legs on, what is that, like a heavy mech?
Yeah, a catapult's a heavy 65-tonner. Yeah, that would take you weeks to repair.
And the injury would be, you know, probably a week with an upgraded med bay. Wouldn't be great.
Welcome, Commander.
Sounds wonderful.
What time do you guys need to be off, by the way? When's your next stream you've got to hop to?
7 minutes, something like that.
Probably not enough time to do a new one then, in which case I'm just going to go and have a look at some of the customized mechs. Now, I don't know if you guys like the... What is it called? Is it the... let's find it. The Stalker. But I may have a thing about the Stalker.
One of our artists, Tristan, has a very special stalker that he made. I think he calls it the disco ball.
The disco ball?
Yeah. I think that's the one. He just loads up with medium lasers. Like a disco ball going off. Like Death Blossom from the last Starfighter.
Andrew does that with the Grasshopper.
Oh, yeah?
He's all medium and small lasers and jump jets.
Right.
So,
wow.
Giant.
I mean, one of the Hunchbacks does that, doesn't it? Like, you can get 7 lasers on a Hunchback or something?
We call that the swayback around here.
See, my Stalker loadout, I just chuck as many LRMs on as possible, and then I never get near the enemy.
Yeah, I like this tactic.
You take a guy with sensor lock.
You see that button at the top there? It looks like a shield, a black shield.
Oh, max armor. Yeah, the problem with the max armor is it will then balance my armor for the back as well. And I want to take the back armor away.
We're going to be near an enemy.
Yeah.
I probably don't need so much back armor, though. And because it rounds to the nearest 5, I'm always going to have a little bit of armor left over, I find. So yeah, I always get like 10 kilos or something left over, which I'm cool with. It's 10 kilos. Right. The thing is, I really want to put 4 LRM-20s on, but the heat efficiency is just terrible.
It's good to want things. Oh my god, look at that. Hit max armor again and you'll be fine.
True. In the campaign, I might risk this. In a skirmish, where if I'm playing like multiplayer, someone will just go, I see that at the back there, and shoots it with a PPC or something. That would be expensive.
Humans suck.
Yeah, humans suck. I can totally agree to that. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, I'm going to revert that. Let's see what else there is.
38 points of armor on the legs, of an assault mech.
Yeah, that's scout mech territory, really.
I mean, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. I think of him more as just a turret at this point.
I mean, it's got the range to be a turret. It'll cover half the map at least.
Lord.
Of skills with the sensor lock and a heavy tactics.
Yep.
You could do really well with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, how big is the penalty for indirect fire? Because I've only really specialized in indirect fire when I got late in the campaign and I had a load of tactics already. So how bad is the penalty normally?
Skirmish, I think the base is -1, which is kind of an abstracted number.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you what that means.
In campaign, does it start worse than that, or does it start at...
We have people for that.
And I gotta look at the skills. I can't remember how the curve works on it. We're old guys at the end of an exhausting.
It's really hard to see the game through our
people for that. It's
glaucoma.
fine. 43 other people who can deal with that. You don't need to.
The Orion there, that looked pretty wild.
Oh, the Orion. It basically makes use of the fact that the SRM4s are just really heat efficient, so I just chuck an AC-20, 2 medium lasers, and a load of SRM4s. It's okay.
All right, that's fun.
It's still not as deadly as I'd like. But it's got enough armor to go for days.
The AC-20s knock a very big hole in something if you hit. But with only 1 ton of ammo, you're not going to get a lot of shots.
Yeah, 5, I think.
Yeah, you get 5 shots, so it's, you have to play very conservatively. Like, do you want to make this shot or not?
What I do is I strip everything off, then I max the armor, weapons I want, and slowly lower the armor.
Ah, see, I do it the other way around. I fill it full of weapons, and then I go, right, how much armor can I get away with?
In the blank spots with a little armor, just just for appearance's sake.
It's like
the bar is mostly meant to be like hashed and shaded, right? It's not meant to be white. That's just a bonus.
Well, maybe you've seen my multiplayer matches because mine are always just black.
I mean, my point is, right, if you have more firepower, they don't get to shoot you.
You should tell them that.
Yeah, but then they shoot me with missiles that I can't see, and then I'm sad.
Intimidation mod into the AI, so that just you showing up with all the weapons scares them enough they don't shoot you.
Yeah, they all just eject out immediately.
Well, we'll look forward to maybe one day in the future setting up a multiplayer match. That would be fun.
I would be down for that, although I am afraid I would probably get murdered.
Suck. Should be fine.
Oh damn!
Thank
Okay.
You, for inviting us on your stream and
thanks for coming.
Putting 80 hours into the game, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really great.
I really dig the game, and I like the Shadowrun games before this, and I'm a massive fan of Shadowrun, so I'm kind of all about the Harebrained Scheme action. So I'm happy to have you guys on. So thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Our pleasure. Enjoy, and we'll look forward to checking back in with you sometime soon.
Excellent. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me. You can go check BattleTech out on the 24th. Okay, so goodbye, everybody, and goodbye, guys. Thank you for joining.